Hello everyone, Fanta here, and you're watching Fantavision. Welcome back to another episode of Games I Love and You Should Too. I thought about making an April Fool's joke video, but then decided against it. Next year, whatever. Today, I am doing the episode on the Little Big Planet series, because this is pretty much the reason I bought a PS3 was just to play Little Big Planet, because I love these games. These games, specifically. Because they're just so much fun. I love platformers. I love all the different levels and the way they design them and the different things you can't do in Mario or any other platformer. It's amazing how a little thing like grabbing onto things can completely change a game. And the amount of customization in this game and the custom levels that people can make online. I mean, there is literally infinite content to these games. They're just so much fun, and the second one was just even better than the first, even though the first one does hold a special place in my heart. Now, why do I not hold up this one? And that's because, unfortunately, Little Big Planet 3 was a pile of crap. If you look at the reviews for the first one and the second one, it's usually like upper 8s or 9s, and that's because these games are phenomenal. Highly recommend you pick these up if you have a PS3. If you don't have a PS3, I mean, I've seen PS3s super cheap. Just look around, I'm sure you'll find one. I still think it's worth getting the system just for these games. It's so much fun. There's so much content, but make sure you get the ones that include the like whatever dollar amount of free content. I know this one doesn't have it because I bought it day one, but you gotta make sure to get those, because unfortunately they did come out with a bunch of BS DLC after the game's launch. Now I'm fine with costume packs, whatever, but in the first one they didn't even have water physics throughout the entire campaign. They didn't have any of that, so they came out with DLC later so people could add water to their custom levels, and they came out with a couple levels that had to do with water. And honestly, the water is super important, because some of my favorite levels that people have created online feature the water. Now, I don't know if they've cleared out a lot of the multiplayer levels. I'm hoping they haven't. I'm hoping those are all still on a server online somewhere. I don't know why they wouldn't be, because this was like Sony's huge exclusive at the time. So hopefully all the levels are still there. And the thing is you can even play a lot of those levels in Little Big Planet 3. I believe, yeah, with access to over 9 million user-created levels, the adventure never ends. So the thing is that, yes, the custom levels are in this game. Yeah, they tried something different by having 4 different types of Sackboys? Swoop, Oddsock, Toggle, and of course Sackboy. So yeah, there was like 4 different sack beans instead of just Sackboy. And I don't think it needed it. I think they kind of stretched themselves too thin. And the co-op kind of sucked in this game. I don't know why. The feeling of the game was just unpolished. The graphics didn't feel like they were PlayStation 4 graphics. I feel like they never made the jump from PS3 to PS4. In fact, I think I remember these looking better than the third one. And the game itself, like I said, was unpolished, not only because the graphics weren't that great, but because, get this, there were game-breaking bugs the first couple weeks of launch. Also, this game tells you that you can port over all of your costumes, and it didn't do that for the first couple weeks as well. And I believe there's still issues with it. So, just Problem City, and the reason is because most people aren't going to notice this, but I definitely do. What do you see missing here? I see 2 logos missing that are very important. There's no Media Molecule, because they did not make the third game. They only made 1 and 2, which is always a bad sign when the original creator of a series steps away and then Sony decides to just give it to someone else. Sumo Interactive. I don't know what else they've made, but they didn't make this one very well. And also, Sony doesn't even have their logo on the front of this game. That's not a good sign if you're not that proud. I feel like before they launched it, they knew it was a broken mess and it wasn't going to live up to the standards of the first 2 Little Big Planet games. So they're like, we'll put that it's only on PlayStation, but we're not going to put our logo right here. We're not going to take that much pride in it. But, man, these first 2 games, to me, were my favorite games in the PS3. And that's just because you could play these games with up to 4 people. You can play all those online custom games. And the cool thing is they gave you such great creative tools for creating your own levels that people made just ridiculous stuff, like stuff you wouldn't even think that you could do in this game. You're like, oh, it's just a platformer. Some people made first-person shooter games. They made tank games. They made other vehicle combat games. They made racing games. They made so many different things with just the tools that were provided in these games. Now, I do not have the kind of time or patience to make a level in a video game, but the people that really did, wow. I mean, some of these could be full games that are in here. And some of them are just silly fun, like there's one where you try to make it to the end, it's like sharks flying out of the water, and I think that's some footage up right now of that. And that was just so much fun to play with friends. And we'd play that simple level for hours and hours and hours just because of the ridiculousness of the physics, of the speed of the sharks, the way things would play out. And same with a level called like Hotel Bomb Survival or whatever, which sounds horrible, but you start the game on top of like this hotel, and it's got all these different rooms, and then you push the button and it starts dropping bombs, and the goal is to make it to the bottom of the hotel and make it to the end goal alive. And it's just so much fun the way the physics interact with each other. Like the hotel's like crumbling, but usually your guy doesn't get squished. If enough weight does get on your little sack boy, he can get squished and die, but sometimes he'll be fine, and like the different predicaments you'll find yourself in. And it's different every time because it's completely randomized the way the bombs fall. Just like the shark level, the shark AI, it's just so unpredictable. It's just like a heat-seeking shark missile, and it really depends on what you do to survive. And it's just a fantastic little level that someone created probably very quickly, but is a lot of fun nonetheless. And there's so many levels, so many experiences I had with these games, and I think these are the games that I played the most in the PS3 by far. And I just haven't had that experience again in a long time. And that's really unfortunate. I mean, that's another reason why I feel like this latest generation just hasn't made me as excited as the previous. I mean, there were so many new IPs on the PS3 and 360, and so many things to be excited about. And now I feel like it's just kind of just sequel after different variation of the same game. And I miss these type of games. Yeah, they were just platformers, but the way they did the platforming was unlike anything else. And I know a lot of people complain that the jumping feels floaty, but I don't mind it in these games. It didn't feel like you couldn't complete the levels. It didn't feel like the controls were bad. And another cool feature, like I said with customization, is you could customize your Sackboy any way you wanted to. I mean, you get a bunch of stickers and stuff in the game, and usually when you get stickers in a game, you're like, I don't give a shit. Like, you get stickers in, like, these Nintendo games, and it's, oh, you can use them in messages or tips for other players, and nobody cares about the damn stamps or whatever. But the thing is with the stickers is you could actually put the stickers on your, like, main menu ship screen, so you can kind of decorate it with the different stickers you have. You could decorate your Sackboy because you could actually put these stickers on the Sackboy. You could save your different customized Sackboys. You'd constantly be pushed to complete these different objectives in the level, not just beating the level, but by doing different things. You get more costumes, more stickers, more like just different accessories for your character. And those things were so much fun to unlock. And you kept wanting to come back to make sure you got every single item. A lot of games that are collectathons are just not fun, but for some reason, this game just did it right. And the way it tantalizes you with these items that you're not getting was just perfect, because you'd walk over these different things, and it would spew out like a vending machine, and then you get to that last one, you're like, oh, what did I miss? What did I miss in that level? Why didn't I get this last one? And you see them all sitting in there. And you want these items, but you can't because you have to do that specific task that you forgot, so it adds that extra replay value. And once again, 4-player co-op. So this is a perfect party game if you want to play through the story again, or if you want to play those custom online levels. And my god, the production value in some of these levels is just great. And you really do need the extra content, like I said, That extra $30 of content is really needed because it adds water. It added the Metal Gear Solid pack, which actually added paintball guns, which is very necessary for a lot of different custom games. They've got ones where you like shoot each other with the paintball guns until you explode. Kind of like Splatoon, actually. That's pretty funny. You're not trying to cover ground or anything. You're just trying to hit each other with it. It's just so much fun, the different levels in these. And I highly recommend it. Definitely pick up these two games. But if you for some reason can't get a PS3, I guess get this. I mean, it's super cheap these days. It's not a terrible game by any means. The only reason I'm hating on it so much is just because the high standard that Little Big Planet 1 and 2 set up, and this one just did not live up to it. But if you only have a PS4, you can't find a PS3, this does have all the custom levels from these two games. So I guess that's a way you can still play it. So thanks for watching, everyone. I really did want to talk about this series, though, because right now is Easter, so I know a lot of families are getting together. This is like the perfect family game, perfect friends get-together game, perfect game just all around for a group, or even by yourself. It's a lot of fun to play, just because the levels are just so creative in the way they use the art design and the aesthetic of things being stitched together and made out of common crafting materials. I love it. These are just such great, fun games, and highly recommend them. So, thanks for watching, everyone. Like the video if you guys, liked it. Subscribe for more content. And as always, everyone, have a fantastic day. See ya. I know I'm probably missing a lot about these games, but man, were they fun. I kind of want to play them now. Gotta get my friends to play these with me. Oh, and if you're wondering what I'm drinking, I know some of you are. A lot of you don't care. That's why I didn't do an intro, because it's not Tales from Retail. I have to do the intro for Tales from Retail, but it's Tropical Burst Amp Organic Energy. This one's not very good. I like the pineapple coconut one, but I like the organic ones not because I'm hipster, but because they're not just full of chemicals. There's like 5 ingredients, whereas usually energy drinks has like phosphate, phosphorus, sodium, benzoprine, like a bunch of like weird words that some of those I probably just made up. Some of them are probably weird, like, real chemicals, but if I can't pronounce it, should you really be drinking it? I don't know. This makes me feel better about getting my caffeine fix without having chemicals and whatnot. I know this is a stupid outro. I'm sorry.